It's the thought that counts. Have you ever heard that when it comes to gift giving? Have you ever been given a gift and you've wondered why the person bought you such a thing? It doesn't suit you, it's not something that you like, it's not something that you would ever do. But someone will say, but it's the thought that counts. Isn't it nice that they thought of you and bought you something? Well, here's something to consider. If it's the thought that counts, why not give it some thought? So if you're going to buy somebody a gift, Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all the special times in people's lives, and you want them to feel special, could it be a really good idea to give them some thought, or give the gift some thought about what they love, what they appreciate, what excites them, what adds massive value to their life? Now, I'm in an interesting position. First of all, I'm in front of a big pile of rocks, and you're probably wondering why. This big pile of rocks is one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever been given. And Rowie, they're just rocks. No. I have rocks in my garden, but these are rocks that I could never move on my own. They came on a big truck. And the people that gave them to me, there's a beautiful family at our martial arts club, Crystal, Kane, Jet and Dustin, and they thought of me when these rocks came into their life, and Rowie would love those rocks, and they had them delivered to my house. I have two other special gifts like that in my yard. One is a huge big log, and it arrived on Christmas morning as my Christmas gift. It came on a trailer and it's a big log that I could never have lifted on my own. I could never have put in my truck on my own, but it came to my house on Christmas morning, a big log. And it just brought great joy to my life. And the third one I have is I call it the wheelchair, because it's the only wheelchair I ever hope to have to use. It's a beautiful big chair for my garden with two wagon wheels on either side. And I came home one day from shopping, and parked in the middle of my driveway was this huge big wagon wheel chair. And it was given to me by a very good friend, thank you Shano, as a gift for my beautiful garden. And it just adds massive value to my life. Now, I'm sharing those things with you because they're very unusual gifts. And usually people say to me, Rowie, we don't know what to buy you because you've got everything. But these special people in my life, thank you Scotty and Alicia who delivered the log on Christmas morning, they gave it some serious thought. And we live in a world now where creativity and being inventive, and there's things you can buy from all over the world. You only have to go online and find something unique and different for the people in your life that you care about. And I'm sharing that with you not because it's important to give gifts, or not because you should give gifts. And that's a really interesting thing, because I was brought up without birthdays, without Christmas, without Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day. My father was a real believer in if you love somebody, you love them every day. You don't just love them on their birthday or Mother's Day or Father's Day or Christmas. So I remember, and there's again two very special times in my life where I came home. Once my father bought me the most beautiful gift. I love music, and he bought me a piano. And I just came home from school one afternoon, and there was this beautiful new piano in the lounge room. And it wasn't for my birthday, it wasn't for Christmas, because we didn't do that at my house. The piano was there to say, I love you, for no other reason than you're my daughter and I love you. And of course, it's a very special memory in my life. Then my father told me that I needed to meet a man who was incredibly intelligent and incredibly funny, and that should be the man that I married. Now, I took a couple of goes to get it right, but when I married K-Man, apart from the fact that he's the funniest man on the planet and the most intelligent man I've ever met, he did this beautiful thing for me. And I want to share it as I love my husband, but this is the kind of man he is. We were out grocery shopping, and we came home to unpack the groceries, and he said to me, Rowie, I've bought you some carrots. And I thought, well, he came to the grocery store with me. I didn't see him buy any carrots, and we don't tend to buy carrots. They're not a thing that we normally have in our fridge. And the carrots he was sharing with me, or was giving me, were diamond carrots, and it was a very large diamond. And it wasn't for my birthday, it wasn't for Christmas, it wasn't for Valentine's Day. It was exactly as my father said. He said, I'm giving you these because I love you, and I want you to know how much I love you, and this is a representation of how much I love you. And again, I'm sharing that story because what a special memory. And a piece of jewellery is a piece of jewellery. And just as an interesting side note, it often isn't. If you take note of people's jewellery, most people either were given a special gift, and that's what the jewellery is all about, or they bought that special gift for themselves. So if you want to have a great communication tool, one of the things to take notice of is the jewellery that people wear, because I'll share again, they either bought something special for themselves or somebody special bought them something. So whatever you're going to do for Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, Easter, all the things, or all the reasons we buy things, and I'll use another example. When you go to somebody's home, obviously it's really good manners to take a gift. But if somebody doesn't drink wine, you don't take a bottle of wine. If somebody doesn't eat chocolates, you don't buy them a box of chocolates. But a little bit further, if somebody does eat chocolate, find out what their favourite chocolate is, rather than, oh, well, I like dark chocolate, so I'm going to buy them dark chocolate. I'll just use that as an example, because I'm not a big fan of dark chocolate. People often buy me dark chocolate, though, because they think because I'm a health person, I'm an exercise professional, that I must only eat dark chocolate. Well, I'm not a big fan of it. I always have a giggle when people buy me wine, because I don't drink alcohol, never have. Luckily, my husband does, so if people buy me wine or a bottle of champagne, I can give it to him. But they're the kind of gifts that I've got nothing else to buy, so I'll just buy chocolates or wine. And if it's somebody that you don't know, you can usually go pretty well with chocolates or wine. But wouldn't it be nice to find out? And then the times where you really want to give a gift to, if you want to make an impression. So, for example, if you go for a career interview, a job interview, wouldn't it be nice to send a gift to the person who's interviewing you? Because if you've ever interviewed people, it's a long, slow, monotonous, tedious process to find the right person to put into your business. So if you are interviewed by somebody and then you send them a special gift to say, thank you very much for investing time in me and finding out about me to find out if I was the right person for this position, and that person happens to like white chocolate, or they happen to like yellow tulips, or they happen to like wine, then wouldn't it be nice to give them that gift? I've got another gorgeous experience. I had very rarely have I ever found somebody that I want to train with, where they are my personal results coach. And the reason for that is most people, when they become a personal trainer or they become an exercise professional, at my college we give them all the tools to be really good at it, but most people don't use those tools. But this particular trainer, and very sadly, he's no longer in our life. He died of cancer. But he added massive value to people's lives, to the point where he's on the videos in our program, and he's one of the funniest, literally one of the funniest coaches, one of the funniest lecturers for anatomy, physiology, workplace health and safety, first aid. His sessions are absolutely hilarious, so he's left a legacy. But here's one of the things, well, there's two things he did for me when I was his client, and this is one of the special things when you talk about it's the thought that counts. I mentioned yellow tulips. They are my favourite flower, but I don't like cut flowers. I hate the smelly water that happens 2 or 3 days after you've got flowers in a vase. So he knew that I liked yellow tulips, but he also knew that I didn't like fresh flowers. So he bought me some wooden yellow tulips, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And they're in my life. They wore out, basically. That's how long I had them for. And just recently I had to throw them away because they were completely wrecked. But what a beautiful thing to consider. I know she loves flowers, but I know she doesn't like cut flowers, so I'll buy her some wooden yellow tulips. Very special part of my life. And another thing that he did for me was a trophy. We had a conversation about when I was at school, it was this really big deal to get great trophies. And when I ran away from home, I left all my sporting trophies at home. And there just wasn't room for me when I ran away from home at 14 and 9 months. So Benny bought me a trophy, and it was just a little trophy, but it said world's best client. And it came with a card that said, it's really fun to train you. I love that you train so hard. I love that you're committed to your training. And it was a trophy to say that. Again, still in my life, still on my desk, still an amazing part of my life. I'm just giving you these simple, gorgeous examples of, if you really care about somebody, if you really want the thought to count, give it some thought. If it's getting close to Christmas, or getting close to somebody's birthday, or getting close to Valentine's Day, what will make somebody feel really special because you gave it some thought? So for my big pile of rocks here that I could not have moved, and these ones I can't move them, I've tried, literally, because normally with the big rock I roll them, but that's my limitation. Normally the rocks that go into my garden are the ones that I can lift onto the truck, and ones that I can roll in the garden. Well, none of those, these are just too big for that. But they're absolutely magnificent. I love every single one of them, and so grateful for the people that bought me these rocks, because it was the thought that counts, and what a beautiful thought. Live your life to to the max. Check out my garden with my big rocks. Woohoo!